I was up all night tossing and turning, and so much so that I haven't slept, I haven't done my hair, and I just keep wavering on this idea. And I, as a psychic, have been really wondering, just as I imagine all of you, what is to come and what happened? Why didn't we see this? Why didn't we see sort of this idea coming? Everybody that I've spoken to in the psychic and woo and intuitive astrological community, all of us saw something, some change. We saw that there was going to be a ripple, but we didn't know what that meant. And I want to show you, because this is what came to me this morning, the visual. And I'm hoping somehow that the visual aid helps to explain things, because the biggest piece that I want everybody to take home is that there was a blind spot in all of us because things were going really well. We didn't necessarily want things to shift that dramatically. They were good enough for a lot of us, even though there was insecurity, even though there was debt, even though we all could have been doing better, even though, right? Things were still good enough. We were comfortable. As a human race, we were more or less comfortable, especially, let's just be honest, especially those of us in America, okay? We were very comfortable. And I don't want to be blind to those who have been very uncomfortable for a lot of years and centuries, really. So there was a ripple. And what's interesting is, as a psychic, what I'm noticing is I'm being asked questions about our reality as of yesterday, before the pandemic, and what our reality is going to be like on the other end. And the questions I'm being asked are, what is my career gonna look like? Am I gonna be okay financially, etc.? Will I meet the love of my life still? I'm still being asked our basic human questions, because those are the questions of comfort. Those are the questions where we feel comfortable, meaning we feel in control. And I want to explain why the timeline has changed. I want to explain how the matrix is shifting, so that perhaps you have a better understanding of sort of this wrinkle in time, so that you understand why there is some curiosity and even some unknowns that we are about to be facing as this time period happens. So I'm going to give you a visual aid. Okay, so here's the visual aid. As you can imagine, that we were looking at what felt like a flat situation, right? So if I'm looking psychically at the world, I can see there's a bump in the road. I can see that there's a wrinkle, perhaps in time, but there's no clarity, because this is what I'm reading. I'm reading that, 2020 is going to be pancakes. The world's going to go on. The earth, as we know it, is fucked anyways. Humans are super comfortable, so it's unlikely they're going to change. But since this thing happened, this is what's happened. We changed the time frame. What read underneath was pandemic. The world is taking a break, the whole world. The earth is healing and humans are learning. But this is how far we have to travel to get back to that. And hopefully what happens is the earth is now healed, and humans might be comfortable, but they will have learned compassion and maybe even a little more love in this experience. But this whole time period right here, this one right here, this is what we have to go through. That's what we have to go through, because this is now this. And that's how the world has ultimately shifted. Okay, so now you're probably wondering, fuck, what the fuck does that mean? It's a great question, and I think that's going to take a little bit more time to kind of suss out. Like, this visualization of the shift just showed up today. What I have been hearing through my guides, my angels, is that they are our collective guides, our collective angels, our collective spirit are here right now. And they've been here since the start of this thing. So we'll start that. We can date it back, probably as early as, October probably of last year is when this actually began. And as such, it appears and it feels as if they've been here kind of working out this matrix experience. Because the thing that I find so remarkable is that while they just were showing us sort of this, so again, from a psychic perspective, this is what we were able to see. This is what we were able to read. This is what we're now being shown. And this is unwritten. That's unwritten. And what the guides and angels are saying in terms of this being unwritten, what I'm hearing anyways, is that it's up to us, which I know is scary as fuck, because we as humans hate the unknown. We fear it. We loathe it. We just want somebody to tell us we're going to be okay. The intellectual property that you own, which is the time that you have spent on this earth, the experiences that you have educationally and personally, the passion that lives inside of you, those do not ever get taken away. That is the biggest message that I just got hit over the head with the other day. Is we have this fear that we'll never find whatever was just barely okay for us before. We'll never find that barely okay situation ever again. And you know what? First thing I'm going to do is compromise my shit and make sure that I get another crap job or crap relationship or crap friendship. I'm going to start a crappy business because the last one was just okay enough. I think I'd like to do that again. We all sort of accidentally do that. We fall into what's just barely good enough for ourselves. But here in this moment, we have an opportunity to really take a good look at our intellectual property, our total property. And what that means is we've been putting value system on bank accounts. We've been putting value systems on the roofs over our head. We've been putting value systems in things that are not of that much importance. And now in this shift, in this time where we are rewriting or just writing for the first time what we really love, as we write what we really love, what we really want. And we get to reevaluate value in that, reevaluate what that means for us. So what's your value? When you really sit down with your intellectual property, what's your value? Are you solution driven? Are you creative? Are you a hustler? Are you a stick-to-itive person? Are you type A? Are you really good at leading people? Are you really good at delegating? What are you great at? What are you good at? What are you capable of? Beyond what you've given yourself credit for. Beyond what you've given yourself credit for. And of that, what can you make of it? Because now is going to be the chance. We cannot go backwards. We are in unwritten territory. And for that, I invite any one of you who just desperately needs a handhold and needs somebody to just walk them through this time. Just give me a shout. Go to willowbradner.com and schedule yourself a one-to-one with me. And we can look at where you've been and where you're going. And we can look at this unwritten time for you and make some of the best and most impactful decisions for your career, your business, your love life, so that as you step out of 2020 and into the next millennium, you know exactly what your value is. And you know exactly how you want to write your story. Lots of love, you guys. Peace.